What's up? Ooh, US 30 drop. That's what I want. All right, let me make sure my accounts are ready. All right, good morning, guys. Today is September 21st. As always, doing analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So looking at what we have here, if we look at the daily bias, my daily bias for US 30 is still bullish. However, you guys can see that we have this daily SAR that just formed here. If this daily candle closes below this live SAR, my bias for US 30 will shift from bullish to bearish. But as of now, my bias is still bullish. Bias for gold is bearish because the last closure here was bearish. So you can see yesterday, US 30 attempted to close, formed a buy SAR, attempted to close above there, but you can see price came all the way back down. EU, my bearish is my bias is bearish. Gold, okay, not gold, the US dollar. I don't know. Today I'm just a little slow. US dollar, my bias is bullish. Now, yesterday, I had this amazing trade on gold yesterday. So yesterday, if you guys remember during the live session, this was the point during the live session yesterday. If I go ahead and replay this. So I'll go ahead and do this. So yesterday, I had marked up this double SAR sell zones on gold. And I'd mentioned that if we could have gotten like a test and rejection. So there was actually a test and rejection here, but I mentioned it was better to wait for FOMC before looking for a sell here. So here, what I was expecting, yes, this was a valid test and rejection because it was a test and rejection of this double sell SAR zone. But if you enter this with the regular like 30 pip stop that I normally tell you guys about, and I'm waiting for US 30. So I know my entry for US 30 will be like on the 30-minute time frame. So we're not really missing anything. So here, if you entered with this, you would have gotten stopped out. So it was a valid sell, but due to FOMC, I told you guys just to wait till after FOMC. So you can see if you entered this, that was the entry, would have come into profit, and then they went out to manipulate folks. So you can see that manipulation right there. So went back up a little bit, and then look at what happened. So I mentioned here that if price broke above this zone, you should have waited now for a break and continuation. So remember, there's always two entries for me, either test and rejection or break and continuation. So here at this point, for me, I say this wasn't a trade worth taking, even though it was valid due to FOMC. Here, then you should have waited for a break and continuation of either of these two levels. So if you can see, when FOMC happened, that was the drop right there. So this candle broke and closed below this sell SAR zone at the top here. Okay, that's step one. So you've already, let me mark this up. You've already achieved your break and continuation entry right there. I'll do this and then I'll edit it out to break. Break and continuation of a double sell SAR zone in the direction of daily bias. Let me save this. So there's that. So you would have had your break candle. Now, what you would have waited for is the next 30-minute candle. So what did the next 30-minute candle? You just needed the next 30-minute candle to close below this zone. So what did the next 30-minute candle? Close below here. Now, this is the point I saw this entry. Now, there was two red flags for me for this entry. The first one, I always mention that if you're going to have a stop loss, so like for me, I do like a 30 pip stop on gold. So you always want your stop loss to be above the SAR zone that you're trading. So for me on this trade, there were 2 red flags. It came around 3 p.m. and I do not trade anytime between 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and I like how US 30 is dropping. I love that because that buy is going to be nice. So I do not trade anywhere from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I find this as manipulation hours. Market is going to consolidate. There's going to be lack of liquidity. The kryptonite to any of my strategies is ranging markets and lack of liquidity. So that's the reason why I do not trade between that time. So here, that was the entry right there. But you can see you with a 30 pip stop, your stop wouldn't have been above there. So for you to even think of taking this trade, so I say you can either decide to take the risk, wait for a retracement, or enter with half risk, or take the risk and enter with full lot size. But since we were waiting for this, if it weren't 3 p.m. yesterday, I think for me, I would have just taken the risk because I knew that I was waiting for this entry the whole day. But if I didn't want to take the risk with the same 30 pips because my stop loss wouldn't have been below or above the SCRs I'm trading, I would have extended my stop to maybe around there. So this would have been like maybe a 60 pip stop. So this is to mean that for me to achieve a 1:2, I would have had like 120 pip TP. So that was the valid break and continuation. You have this candle that broke, you have the next candle that continued. And I know I have reduced the SARs, but if I go back in here and extend them, because this is based off of extended SARs, these are actually was a triple, 1, 2, 3. So it was a triple SAR zone. So this should be triple. So if you took that, you would have gotten and kept playing it. So if you took that, so for me, the only reason wasn't because my stop loss wouldn't have been below the SARs because I know how to deal with that based off of the trader I am. The main reason I did not take it was because of the timing. If it came before 3 p.m., I would have jumped in. But for me, when I have a rule, I do not break that rule. So, but anyway, if you took it, regardless, the trade would have gone straight into TP. So when we talk about a zone during the live session, that's just something to be on the lookout for later on. And you can see gold came up and these are all my sell zones on gold. So I'm pretty sure there were more entries here. I can see, because these are 30-minute and 15-minute. But anyway, as we have it right now, I do not have any entry on gold. So we start with the hourly and 4-hour timeframes. US 30, I don't have any entry on the hourly time frame. I have some buy zones all the way down here, but I think by the time US 30 gets down here, my bias for US 30 will have changed to bearish because this daily candle closes in the next 7 hours. So which is why this is the zone I'm looking. You see that rejection? This is the buy zone I'm looking for US 30. So we still have maybe 45 more minutes before we can get a buy entry here. So I'm not really looking at these zones down here for US 30 because by the time if price does get down there, my bias will have switched from bullish to bearish. Gold, I don't have any. So gold has broken all this double SAR so far. I see we have this zone right here. I think this is a 4-hour zone if it's not a 1 hour. So remember, the only time frames that I don't extend my SARs, 1 minute, 5 minute, and daily timeframes. The other timeframes, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour, that's the ones I use. Yeah, this is a sell entry on gold. And I can see, even looking at gold, this is a structure on gold right here that needs to be completed somewhere around 1900. So I do see a sell entry on the 4 hour for gold, but this sell entry will validate in 3 hours. So you can see, what is it based off of? You had this huge 4-hour candle that broke multiple 4-hour sell SAR. So it broke this double SAR at the top here, broke this double SAR at the bottom here. So that's the break candle. Then this is the continuation candle. So for you to enter any sell on gold, so there's 2 possible sell entries on gold, but this will come at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time later on today. So you can base it off of either of these 2 SAR. So that's the first one. If this current 4-hour candle closes below this double SAR, that would be a break and continuation entry for gold. Also keep in mind, this is another break and continuation entry. So just know, even if the trade validates down here, This, you need your stop loss to be safe. You want your stop loss to be below this double SAR and also this double SAR. So possibly wait maybe for an entry somewhere around 1918 so that your stop loss is well above this double SAR and this double SAR there. But anyway, for this entry, it would need to be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if this, give me 1 second. If this 4-hour candle closes above this zone, closes above that zone, there is no sell entry on gold. Okay, US 30, what am I looking for here? Here on the 30-minute, and I have removed the extensions on my SAR just to keep my charts cleaner, or just to keep my charts cleaner. If I extend them here, if I go to my left, we have this double SARs on the 30-minute time frame. So what I am waiting for here is what kind of entry? I am waiting for so for me, it's always two types of entries. So you don't have to wonder so it's either a test and rejection or a break and continuation. So you can have a test and rejection and break and continuation for both buys and sells. It always depends on where your zone is relative to price. So if I'm buying and I'm getting a test and rejection entry, that means that my entry or the zones that I'm looking at are below price. But I can also be buying and get into a break and continuation. What that means is that my entries or my entry zone would be above price, above where price is. So since in this instance, my entry is below price, that would give me a test and rejection for a buy. So this is a possible test rejection of a double buy SAR zone in the direction of the daily bias. So for me to even buy US 30 here, I want to see this rejection. This is perfect for me, but I'm not a scalper to just hop in on impulse. So here, my stop loss for US 30 is 50 pips. My TP is 100 pips. And then what do I need for this to happen? Always my entries, two kinds of entries, and for me to enter, or for those two entries to validate. So we have test and rejection, we have break and continuation. So when I say test and rejection, those are two consecutive candles. Test is one candle, rejection is the next candle. Break and continuation, break is one candle, continuation is the next candle. So I need two 30-minute candles to close above this zone, two consecutive 30-minute candles. So the first candle has tested that zone. That's my test candle. I need the next 30-minute candle to close above this zone as well. Now, the next 30-minute candle doesn't have to come back all the way down here. I would prefer for it to do that so that I can enter like exactly on the third 30-minute candle. But if the second 30-minute candle closes anywhere above here such that my stop loss is not able to be down here, I will wait for a retracement back down, and then I'll go down to the 1 minute or 5 minute and trade live SAR. So remember, when I go down to the 1 minute, 5 minute daily candles or daily timeframes, I do not extend my SARs. So if anybody has any questions regarding what I've gone over, feel free to ask. But 34,181 to 34,160. If, because I don't know if I'll stay for the whole 45 minute, I'll see, maybe. If the next 30 minute, if in the next 45 minutes, this two 30-minute candles close above 34,180, that is a valid buy on US 30. However, make sure if you enter that trade, your stop loss, you can handle to have a stop loss below or a stop loss somewhere around 34,130. So that's the time frame right there. I wish we had something on the 15-minute time frame. Unfortunately, we do not. The 15-minute time frame has just created a buy SAR right now, but it's just one single one. So I wish we had like a double buy SAR somewhere around here. The other thing to keep in mind, around this zone, 34,400, we have, if I go to the markups indicator, 34,400 and 34,360, we have a bullish, a daily bullish order block. So we rarely come across daily bullish order blocks. So 34,400, 34,360. If you guys get any entries for a buy there, US 30 will pump up so heavy when it gets back up there. Because if you look at this, that's where that is where US 30 rejected from last time when US 30 got to that daily bullish order block. So keep that in mind, 34,400 and 34,360. That is a heavy, heavy buy zone for US30. But for me, I'm looking to catch the bottom. I don't think there's any order block even where we are down here. Nope. I know we have a bunch of buyers down here if I turn on the zones indicator, but yeah, we don't have any order blocks down there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. But for me, I'm waiting for that 30-minute entry. See, give me 1 second. Let me pick up something. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so, and you can see that rejection exactly in the zone itself. So that is for you guys who like scalping. That would but also this is my very last entry I think I'll get for a buy for US30. The reason for that is because maybe tomorrow, if this daily candle closes, manages in the next hour to in the next 7 hours to close below this live SAR. Tomorrow, I'll start looking for sales on US30. So this is what I think will be my very last attempt for a buy for US30. And we've been catching buys for a while now, and we've been able to catch some good profits. So yesterday, give me 1 second. Yesterday we didn't trade. So I'll put this as an X. So I know this week we took a loss on Monday, took a loss on Tuesday. Wasn't too big of a loss based off of the whole wins we had last week. So the key thing here is always manage your risk properly. Then make sure you have a nice risk to reward. So that's why, even though yesterday I had that nice entry for US30, I really did not want to break any of my rules, because if you break even a small rule, you can think that, oh, because an entry has come at 3, let me just trade at 305 or 315. If you start breaking those small rules, like, it will have like a bigger rollover effect. So like for me, I've been able to handle FOMO or 4G or over trading or over leveraging. Like, I haven't done any of those in months. The other part that I was, and I've been honest with you guys, like even on these live sessions, right? Sometimes I used to not trade my strategies. I used to be like, oh, let me just trade. And when I do not follow any of my strategies, you see, like this 30-minute entry, sure, it takes 45 minutes or another 1 hour. But I mean, I could see my old self just hopping into a buy just because, and then I just want to make that quick profit. And sure, you could have made that quick profit here, but you also want to think of the opposite. What if when you entered that buy right here, and maybe, right, you can use my analysis and maybe it can match up with any of your other strategies. When I talk about impulse, I'm talking about in the sense, because like for me, when I used to trade in sometimes, I used to not have a strategy. So I'm talking about like the habits that don't, and trading habits that are not based off of strategies. So, right, I could have FOMO'd and jumped in, and instead of US30 retracing up, US30 flashed to the downside. And then I could have just been mad at myself. And I'm like, why did you even enter that trade? You've only waited for your strategy. And then let's say the 30-minute candle comes back up and gives me like a no drawdown entry. So for me, it's always, nowadays, it's like, I just want to make sure that I'm following my strategies. And that's going to be, pretty beneficial for you guys. If you do not want to follow any of your strategies, it doesn't have to be mine. It can be from other groups that you guys are part of. If you don't want to follow any of them, I've been there and I've been burnt and I've lost a ton of money in the market. But if you apply some of these things, especially whether you're a beginner trader, man, you will cut down your learning curve by like a lot. So you can miss a trade. You cannot trade like 3 days in a row. And then on Thursday or on that one day of the week, you pick up a trade and you're up like 3% in profit compared to somebody who was literally trading from Monday through Thursday, who possibly ended up blowing their accounts or possibly ended up being in drawdown. So you just want to make sure that those strategies are lining up. Because even before the live session here, because I was, I've been waiting on this. Oh no, my mouse is dying. I've been waiting on this 30-minute entry, but when I saw US 30 retracing up, I was like, man, maybe I'm not gonna get that buy, and maybe now I'll have to wait for a buy up here. But I didn't hop into that buy because it hadn't validated. But you see, when the market opened, what happened? The market came back down and tested my zone. So what the market is telling me, man, let me trap these people that are trying to catch the buy early and stop them out. And also let me trap the sellers, but keep your zone in handy and, just watch what I do to your zone. So what did US 30 do to my zone? It literally gave me the test candle. So the test candle, I've already met that expectation, has already met that requirement. Now US 30 is telling me, just wait. I mean, you can, if you want to FOMO, you can choose not to wait for the continuation candle and enter the buy when I close this candle, but you will be breaking your rules. So what it's also telling me is that after this candle closes, I've given you your test candle. Now wait for the rejection candle. So right now, in my mind, I'm thinking 30 minutes later. So I'm thinking of all the probabilities. So for the next 30-minute candle, it can come and close below this zone. At that point, the test and rejection entry has been killed. There's no entry there. I would have to then wait for a break and continuation if price is to come back up. So I would have to go to square one and see whether I'm going to get a test and rejection or break and continuation. The other thing I'm thinking about, the best case scenario is for the next 30-minute candle. And unfortunately, I won't be with you guys till 10:30 because I have something else to attend to. The best case scenario is at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The 10:30 candle closes somewhere around here. So close to the SARs. That is the best case scenario you can ever get, either with a break and continuation or test and rejection. Now, I'm also thinking that's the ideal situation. Markets are not always ideal. The other thing that can happen, save for the next 30-minute candle closing below, which the trades would be invalidated, and also the ideal situation. The other thing that can happen, yes, it can validate and close above that zone, but it can close high. So let's say it closes here. So with a 50 pip stop, my stop loss is not going to be able to be below that SAR. So at that point, now I'm even thinking, what am I going to do in that instance? So given that I've been waiting for this trade, if that does happen, I won't enter with full risk. So my normal risk is 0.75 per trade, and I go for a 1:2. So I think if I'm not able to get that ideal entry and I get like an entry somewhere here, I'll enter in with half risk and then save my other risk in case US 30 comes back down. Because based off of this rejection we're getting, I can wait even after the trade validates and wait to get an entry here. But based off of, remember, I always tell you guys, when you see these wicks are always telling you a story. So these wicks here are telling me that we have some buying pressure that's somewhere here. So I don't think this is one of those instances that I won't hop into the trade and then I'll wait for retracement back down. I don't think I'll wait for retracement. So what I'll do, I'll enter in with 0.375, which is half of 0.75. And then I'll save my other 0.375 in case price comes back down, and then I look for an entry. But if price does not come back down with a 1:2 and 0.375 risk, I'll make 0.75 on that trade, and that's 750 on a 200K account. So yeah, but anyway, let me know if you guys, that's the continuation candle that just opened. So we need to see how this 30-minute candle closes. So that's in the next 30 minutes. I'll hop off like at 10:20 because I have an appointment at 10:30. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and hopefully I haven't been muted this whole time. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. What else? What else? The other trade. So I want US 30 to come down. Like, I don't want US 30 to take off just yet. I want it to come down. What we have on gold right now, 30-minute entry. Here there was a break continuation, but that was too, gold is just going. So I don't even see any entry. We have a 15-minute triple SAR down here. The top one is 1915, 1914.7. Yeah, nope, no. So I don't see anything on gold. Honestly, you say what? Oh, wait. I don't see anything on gold really, so nothing really there. EU. So EU rejected. This is a test and rejection entry. So if I extend this SARs right here, this is too far down. Again, the entry on EU yesterday. Let me show you guys the entry. You see here before news, this was a test and rejection. This was the only, I'm not looking to even sell gold or EU at this point. I will wait for them to turn bullish because these things have been selling for far too long, and I think they can change back anytime. So to be honest with you guys, I'm not looking, maybe that last 4-hour sell here, but right here on EU, if I zoom into this is the hourly time frame. Hopefully you guys can see this is a test and rejection entry. The reason for that, test candle. So think of this the same way I'm waiting for US 30. So I was bearish on US 30 yesterday. Test candle, rejection candle right here. You enter right there. My stop loss on EU is normally 25 pips. Take profit 50 pips. That would have been a nice entry on EU. The other reason I am not looking to take, because I do see there's an EU sell entry right here on the 15-minute time frame. This is actually it's not 15-minute, my bad. This is 30-minute. If I go to the 30-minute, yeah. But that's a test and rejection that's also coming along. Yeah, so nothing on EU just yet as well. But anyway, I'm not looking to even sell EU. These things are just extended. I think we are reaching the end of the selling period. So keep in mind, August and September, June, July, August, September. August and September are selling months in the market. So they are one of the two worst months in the stocks market, or in the stock market, or in general markets. So we are coming to the end of September. So I'm not really too cautious on entering sales on gold and EU just yet. Even for US 30, I am still cautious of this daily candle closing below the SAR for my bias to change to bearish, because if you guys remember, I am overall bullish on US 30 because based off of the last 10-year history, somewhere in end of August or end of September, US 30 starts a slow bullish rally and creates a yearly high. And during this period, it would create a new all-time high and create a yearly high. So I'm still expecting US 30 to go all the way back up. So I don't really want to see any, to be honest, I won't even want to change my bias on US 30 to a sell, because I think that is a big fake out that's coming in. So I'm hoping this daily candle does not close here. I mean, I'm still going to follow my rules. If this daily candle closes there, my bias will switch to bearish, and it doesn't mean that I'll sell like on the close of the candle. I'm pretty sure for US 30, if I changed from green SARs to red SARs, you guys will see even sell zones. Like for example, if I switch this, you guys will probably be able to see I changed to red, right? Even where US 30 sold yesterday, you see there was a triple sell SAR. So with my strategies, you don't have to trade. If I'm bullish on US 30, you don't have to be bullish. You can literally enter sells, and you can see here there was a sell SAR on US 30, triple sell SAR. Here also there was some sell SARs here. So as much as I am bullish, you don't have to be bullish with me. I give you guys access to these instruments for a reason, so that you can trade also by yourself. Also, it doesn't mean that if I am, like you guys just saw the red lines there, I can be bearish for US 30 there and wait for a sell somewhere up here or something, just by following the break and continuation or test and rejection entries. So you just have to find your niche. For me, I just don't like trading both directions. So yeah, I don't see any entry on gold. I see a possible entry on EU, but given that for me, I go for 50 pips, take profit on EU, I do not feel like selling EU down there. Also, you guys should probably watch what Steven posted. He's our market maker in there. This guy is a much better trader than me. And I learned a lot from him. So he posted like a review of EU. So you guys can go in the group and watch it. What else? So yeah, for me, this is the only trade I'm waiting for on EU. This trade I'd sent out, when was it? Thursday, August 23 on GBP NZD. So I told you guys this trade should be at break even for now. This was a 1:2 risk to reward. It was a 700 pip trade, so it should be close to full TP down there. But other than that, I do not see anything else to go over. So let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, this is the trade for US 30. If I get it, I will send it to the group as an official trade, but I'm hoping US 30 comes back down and gives me the entry somewhere down here. So yeah. And I did post, there's this prop firm. So today I did request, I told you guys there's this prop that I've been with for like a year. It's, it's one of those prop firms that I even forget I have, but it's called Fund Your FX. So one thing I like about this prop, A, they've been around for like 10 years. B, technically, well, quote unquote, they say they fund you with real money. So, but ideally this prop, you're not going to start off with like 80% profit splits, like most of the other prop firms. And I don't have any association with them. I just like them. I just like how they discipline you as a trader. So like for them, and I think I'd gone over this with you guys. Hopefully they won't take me to apply for an account. No, I want to go with how it works. So it's like a scaling kind of thing. Let me find that. Yeah, so this one. So the one I had, and I started this, when did I start it? End of last year, maybe. So I started with the standard plan. So there's a starter plan, standard plan, professional plan. So way back, you had to do like an interview for them to give you like an account or whatnot. But nowadays you don't. So the max drawdown is 10%. If I'm not wrong, they sent me an email like 4 or 3 weeks ago. But when I started with them, the max drawdown was always 10%. I think they reduced this along the way, but they sent me an email like 3 weeks ago and said that they had extended for everybody. But anyway, for me, it was always 10%, regardless if they changed it or not. So one thing for them, if you choose to do them, this to me is one of those props or models that allow you to be a disciplined trader, because they give you that, they don't have a daily drawdown, so they just give you a max drawdown. Also, they require a stop loss for all of your trades if you're in level 1. They have a max trading volume, so you can't go, in their FAQs, they tell you that you can't. I think for FX pairs, like in this level, you couldn't have a total of 0.5, a combined total of 0.5 lots opened on FX pairs. So for example, if you trade with like 0.6 lots on EU or any FX pair, you would just, be breaching the account. So this is one of those plans that are just slow but steady. But if you look at the level, like for me, my next level is I just completed level 2 today. So I started with them late last year or beginning of this year. I just completed level 2, so I just go slow but steady with them. And then I'm going to level 3. So you can see after level 3, you get your refund back. But my end goal, I don't even care about this level, because literally what I'm doing with what I did with the 15K is the same thing I just did with the 22K, is the same thing I'm going to do with the 35K. So you can see if I pass the 30, and they had like a max time of 90 days, but they don't have that anymore. So it's unlimited. And even before then, the 90-day rule would only apply such that in 90 days, you just had to be 5% in profit. So it's not like in 90 days, if you haven't reached the profit target, they would close your account. But even before then, the 90-day rule was such that if you're like at least 5%, or they would say we have a right to close your account. So the first one I traded, the 15K, even in the 90 days, I wasn't even at 10% profit, but I was like at 6%. So they didn't close the account. But anyway, right now, I think they just haven't updated their website. They don't have a max time limit. They don't have, the max drawdown is 10%. So you can see here after level 3, I'll get my refund. I think I paid $300 for the standard plan. And you can see if I pass 300 or 35 or level 3, my account will then be scaled to 100K account. So my target, to be honest, that's why for me, it's like a slow but sure account. I have like a 2-year vision of it. So I'm anticipating by this time next year, I'm at the 500 level. So that's why I just go slow. And hopefully beginning of 2025, I'm at level 6. The reason why I haven't, even for the trades we've been taking, because, somebody can ask me, you make like, 6%, we just made 6% last month and whatnot. The reason, I do not copy my trades to this, like all of my trades to that account. The reason for that is, remember, so they have a stop loss rule. That's not bad for me because for every trade I have has a stop loss. The thing is, they have a max trading volume. So the thing I did with level 1, I'm still doing with level 2. So even for right now, I didn't have to have a stop loss during level 2, but I was still applying a stop loss to level 2, because if I was able to pass level 1, why not use the same rules and do rinse and repeat the same thing? So level 2, I still use stop losses. Level 3, I'm still going to use so even if I get to $1 million in funding, I'm still going to use a stop loss, because that's the law of, like 10xing or whatever. So whatever you do to make $10, if you want to make $100, just do the same thing, but do it 10 more times. So that's the same thing. But I think, especially for beginners, or even for you guys, if you guys are profitable, this should be, and it's, to be honest, it's not that expensive compared to other firms out there that offer instant funding. So keep in mind, this doesn't take you to any challenge. So it's instant funding, but you can only withdraw when you reach the 10%. So if you compare that with even what like MFF had with, I know MFF had instant funding, they would, for the price you're paying for this, like MFF would have given you like a 5K account. For other firms out there that have a similar instant funding plan, they have a trailing drawdown. So this one does not have a trailing drawdown. So it's just like overall 10% of the beginning value. So if you make like 5%, your drawdown won't follow you above. So yeah, for me, I think this is a good, honestly, and I think this is what a good amount of prop firms are going to move to after the whole MFF thing. And also for them, they are based in London. So if you guys are interested, again, I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not making any money from because I'm literally telling you guys to Google them, fund your effects. I think with the review, and I already got paid out level 1, so I just submitted my payout for level 2 today. So we'll see how that goes. So you can see the first profit split 50, 50, 50 for the first 3 levels. But the more you make, the more you'll get rewarded. After you pass level 3, you will get back your account fees with them. Anyway, so we have 15 more minutes. I can hang around till then. So I don't like how this 15 or this current 30-minute candle is going, because you can see if it closes anywhere above this, my stop loss won't be below here. So I think I'm just going to be forced to wait later. So yeah, I wish it was coming down, but I just don't want this 30-minute candle to close above there. 15-minute. Yeah. So anyway, I'm still going to wait if I don't get the entry. So given this, even if it closes above here, even with half percentage, I'm not going to jump in. I'll wait for that trade the same place. So what I'll do, fingers crossed, or I'm hoping, and if you guys are in a buy, I hope it goes to your TPs. But if this 30-minute candle keeps pushing up that way, and in the next 13 minutes, US 30 closes there, what I'll do, I will come here. I will remove the extensions of my SARs. I will go down to the 1 minute, and then I'll wait for price to retrace and come back for me here. And then I'll look for a scenario like this. So I'll look for a break and continuation. So I would want, if in the next 30 minutes, US 30 closes where it is right now, I would wait for the 30, I would wait for the 1 minute time frame, and then wait for US 30 to come back down and then impulse back up. And then I look for a setup like this where 2 1 minute candles close above a live SAR, and then I'll enter the buy then. But yeah, unless that happens, if that doesn't happen, if US 30 keeps pumping up, that will be it for me. The next, I still have buy entries where US 30 is. So if you look at the 30-minute at 15 minutes, so remember what I told you guys, this zone, we have a daily bullish low, 34,360. So if US 30 closes above here, we might get a huge, huge pump up to the upside. Also, it looks like we have 2 double SARs on the 30-minute that just formed. So we have other 2 double SARs. So there's always going to be other entries. So here we just formed other 2 double SARs on the 30-minute. So I can get a break and continuation entry as well here. So there's always entries. So that's why I go ahead and mark them up. So as much as this would have been the better entry for me, US 30 just formed a double SAR on the 30-minute. So you can get another buy for US 30 around this zone. But anyway, until next time, unless you guys have any questions, I will catch you guys tomorrow. If I do see this trade, I can send it in the group as an official trade. But yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, see you guys. Bye.